Good afternoon, friends and family from Harvest. We have approached our 6th week of shelter in place, and I know, like you, that we're itchy and that we want to get things back to normal, and we are looking forward to the time that we're able to rejoin. And we want to do those things really well. And so we're just going to talk for the next few minutes because we're already planning about what that rejoin is going to look like, and some of the questions that need to be asked in order to make sure that things are handled in a way that is loving and honoring to and safe for our entire community. Some of you, that one of the things that we've already started to do is clean. We personally scrubbed and cleaned all of the floors that are in my office, as well as the nursery and the bathroom. Scrubbed and scoured those things down, as well as took care of all of the carpets, and in the process of sanitizing them and making them ready for when we rejoin. And there's a bunch of questions that we need to ask in order to properly be ready. And for a lot of us that we have done church, that there have been things that we've done in the past and we didn't even necessarily realize that those things were risky. But myself and our leadership team are going to be talking about all of the different ways that we are doing life. And we've already started looking through some of the practical things, like how we do communion, how we do offering. We're going to be looking at how we're doing children's ministry, and our greeting. That there are so many different elements to what we do, and a lot of things that we don't even think about that have to be revisited, not just necessarily for this season, but in some ways that this is really going to be more of a long haul, where there may have been things that we've done in the past that really were never a good idea or a good practice, and that something like this pandemic is forcing us to have to raise our game and be better. So in kind of looking at the ways that we can be able to improve as a church community, that if there are some positives that we can take out of this, is that we can be able to look at how we can be able to improve the way that we do things so that things are safe, and that things are done in a way that's loving and honoring. And like we talked about in the last video, that love and honor has more than just one way of being presented. And so we just want you to know that we don't have a time frame. We're meeting, obviously through conference calls with Foursquare. We are going to honor the people who are in positions of authority. And so we are taking our leadership from Governor Sununu, and obviously from President Donald Trump, and we will not try and make faith something that it's not supposed to be. Some of you have seen in different areas and even within different church communities around the country that there's almost been almost a shaming that's taken place for people who didn't respond to going back to church with faith. And the scripture says that whatever is not of faith is sin. And what we want to make sure is that faith is not reckless, that faith is not careless, that faith is the fullest expression of love. And so, in this particular season, faith will be safe because that's something that we want to make sure it's a priority, whether it's our babies or our preteens, our teenagers, those of us who are those of you who are in your 20s or 30s, us 40 somethings that are smack dab in the middle of middle ages, and our elder community, as well as those who are autoimmune compromised. We're going to be making sure, and for some of us that our rejoining may take longer, and we understand that. And we don't see that as a lack of faith. We see that as an extension of our mutual faith together, because God hasn't called us to be in service together. He called us to be in community together, and so we want everyone back together. We are excited that as the church has sort of become this Wallace church, that other families are getting another taste of who we are as a community and wanting to potentially join us, and that's really great. But we want you to understand that, one, that there is a very methodical plan in place. Two, that we are understanding and appreciating that people have very different ideas and values about this, and not everyone's going to agree. And three, that what we agree on is Jesus, and that we are commonly connected as a community, and we are commonly connected in eternity, as well as in our mission and calling together. We don't take those things lightly, and so we are working through a very exhaustive list so that we can be able to do life together in a way that is life-giving for this season and beyond. And so we wanted to let you know that change is something that God has orchestrated and ordained. Even if this season is not from God, that there are outcomes from this season that are. And so would you join us in prayer as we reconsider what our weekly rhythms look like, so that we can be able to do things really well with a lot of love and honor. We love you guys. We miss you. And as we just want to remind you that we are available through teleconference, through Zoom. We are available just on a phone call or whatever it is that we personally or our church is able to do to serve. Please feel free to reach out to us. And it won't be long before we are able to reconnect, and we are looking forward to that. In the meantime, we are praying for you. We miss our time with you, and we are believing all the best in this season. And so we be blessed.